things sustainability. And so I'm very grateful, right? But this question is directed towards him because he's doing a lot of things with his company, Plastiks. And I would say, how can NFTs change an industry like waste management that's been around for 50 years and doing waste with zero accountability?
Well, that's a very good question. Just so we're all on the same page, the waste management industry makes money two ways. They make money collecting waste, right? So they generate revenue by collecting waste on behalf of municipal governments, local governments, and private entities. And the second way they make money is by separating the waste and identifying what part of that waste can be used as a feedstock or a prime resource to be sold to recycling companies, so that the recycling companies can therefore create new single-use packaging with recovered materials. So on that second activity, obviously if you're selling something, that means you're issuing an invoice. If you're issuing an invoice, it means that you're obviously paying taxes. If you're paying taxes, that means you're paying taxes on something you sold. So if you sold it, you had it in the first place. Bottom line, the invoice is a document that proves that you've recovered a certain type of polymer and a certain quantity of polymer. So that invoice basically can be put up for sale. Similar to those who are very familiar, and I have an understanding of this conference, and most are familiar with carbon credits, but very similar to that sector, that industry, plastic credits are born from the recovery guarantees of the documents from an industry that hasn't changed. Now, a very important point. If you tell the owner of a waste management company, wherever you are, in Africa, in Latin America, anywhere across the world, please give a portion of your profit to people in the streets of Nairobi so they can pick up waste and improve their lifestyles. They're going to say, no, I'd love to, but I'm a business, I cannot. Well, if you tell them, I'm going to bring you a third source of revenue, please remind yourselves, I told you one, collecting, two, separating and selling. Now you have a third source of revenue, selling the data that you've done that effectively, that you've actually collected and ensured that no plastic has gone into the environment. You can make money that way. But oh, by the way, don't get too excited. 40% of that money is going to go into the hands of non-for-profits across developing nations that have a direct impact with the waste pickers, who actually are going to be incentivized to collect more plastic and improve their economic livelihood because they're on the verge of social exclusion. So this is the power of the NFT. Why? Because an industry that hasn't changed in 50 years, has been profit-driven and very opaque, can now be incentivized economically to be, what? Very transparent. And make money being transparent. So all of a sudden you've created a method for them to become transparent, which is the oldest method in the book. Incentive, money. And therefore they will have a direct impact on the people that are actually on the ground picking up the waste. That is how NFT and its business model can help change an industry, which we all know has been very, very rigid in the last 50 years.
The sustainability community meets the individuals who are on the ground, right? And like creating that story. So like how important is the narrative? I want to start that with both of you want to answer that. Like, what is the narrative? Like why is it so important in this NFTs and tracing that back to sustainability?
Most of humanity, 98%, is just surviving. Most of us in this room, like that 98%, wake up in the morning and look at CNN or Fox News or whatever we're exposed to and bombarded with, and we see that the world is going in a terrible direction. Our hearts are taken by all of this, and we go to our work with a desire to make a change. By 10 o'clock, it's coffee time. By 12 o'clock, we've done reports, we've done meetings, we've done the work that we need to do. By 3 o'clock, the tiredness sets in, sleepiness, we're thinking of the 4 o'clock coffee. Then we go home, and then we've got to prepare dinner, take care of the kids, and then all of a sudden you're at 9 o'clock breaking down the garbage, at least in Europe, in front of the bin, and figuring out, okay, is this all worth it? Is all my effort of separating the waste at home going to actually make a difference? And then all of a sudden you go fast forward to your Saturday, and then you're thinking, okay, well I'm on the shelf in some supermarket and I'm going to buy butter. There's a $1.50 butter or $50, 50 cents butter. And then most of the humanity is going to choose the 50 cent product. So the power that we have is to choose products and services from companies that have demonstrated their commitment to the environment. That is the only true power we have as consumers. So it is the responsibility of companies to demonstrate their commitment to the environment and to demonstrate this commitment verifiably. And NFTs are the ability for them to show that because they have an economic incentive in doing so. So therefore, the true power of consumers is rewarding companies with their consumption, companies that have demonstrated their commitment to the environment. This is the true power of the consumer.
Without a doubt, and that's all part of the storytelling, right? So even as you're going out there and you're thinking about narratives for like your own NFT projects, I heard this a long time ago, and I wish I remember who said this, and if anybody in the audience knows, please let me know after. It's facts tell and stories sell, right? People are buying NFTs, why? Because they're like seeing all of the hype